Hey y'all, it is Dahlia with D Loops Crafts. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. This is my first ever tutorial and I'm going to show y'all how to make the crochet volleyballs I've been raving about. It's a super quick and easy pattern. You can put it on a rear view mirror, a backpack, anywhere you want to attach a volleyball. I hope you love this tutorial. Don't forget to like and subscribe and let's get into it. For this project, you'll need 3 different colors. I'll link what I used in the description. You'll also need a 3mm hook, embroidery scissors, and a tapestry needle. To start, we're going to make 25 chains. I don't like making a slip knot before and after my project. I just don't like the look of an extra knot. So I start with just making a chain. So I take my tail, I put it over my hook, I grab this yarn and I wrap it around, pull through, and just make a chain. Then I'm going to make 24 more. Okay, I should have 25. Now we're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook, but I make my single crochets in the back bump of the chains. I poked a hole through these so you can kind of see what I mean. I work my stitch into these rather than the actual chains. So this is technically a chain 1, and we're just going to place a single crochet into the back bump of every chain all the way down. When you get to the last chain, since there's no knot, you're just going to work into the chain right here in this loop. Now I take my end and I just throw it over my working yarn because I want to hide that. Chain 1, and now we're going to single crochet into every stitch all the way back down. When I do this row, I crochet over this end. This is the front of the project and this will be the back. So I'm going to leave the end in front of me as I crochet. Leaving the tail in front, I'm gonna crochet into the first stitch, pull through, and you can see I'm starting to bring the tail on this side. So crochet over the stitch with the tail on this side, finish the single crochet, and now this will be on the back. I hide the tail for about the first 5 stitches and then I drop it since you really don't need to keep crocheting over it. I'm gonna finish this row and I'll be back. I'm at my last stitch. I'm going to start the single crochet, grab my next color, and finish the stitch with this color on. Then I'm just gonna tighten a little, chain 1, flip the work, and now since this is our front side, I'm going to crochet over the ends in the back. I don't cut this yarn yet. I'm going to crochet over it and actually cut it when I need to change colors again. I like to save yarn and it doesn't get in my way, so. Also, don't worry if your project curls, it's natural and it'll hold shape once you sew it all together. Chain 1, work into the first single crochet. Now I'm gonna grab both ends and put it over my hook, like so. Finish the stitch and just give them a nice tug. And now this is what it should look like. It'll straighten out a little more as we go. Next stitch, crochet over, yarn over, and pull through. As you can see, our tails are in the back of the project and the front looks clean. I'm going to do that for the next few stitches. Then you can choose to cut these off now or later like I do. I'm just going to complete the rest of the row and I'll be back. I got to the end of the row. I'm going to complete my last single crochet, chain 1, turn. Now place 1 single crochet in every stitch back down to the row, and I'll meet you at the last stitch. All right, I made it to my last stitch. I'm going to start the single crochet. Now I need this yarn color again, so I'm gonna pull just so that way the yarn straightens out. And then I'm going to cut those two. Now my yarn is woven in and I can change colors. Same thing that we did last time. Chain 1, turn, place a first single crochet, crochet over our ends, give them a nice little tug in the back. Next stitch, see how the ties are in the back. Now I'm going to single crochet all the way down, and I'll meet you back at the end. I got to the end of the row. I'm going to place my last single crochet, chain 1, turn, and now we're going to do our last single crochet row in this strip. Do not cut your yarn when you get to the end. I'll meet you at the last single crochet. I'm at the end of my row. I'm going to place my last single crochet and then pull my yarn to about the length of my strip. I'm going to cut it there. I'm going to cut these guys and cut this one. Now you don't have to worry about cutting in any of the ends later. You got 1 strip done. Now we need to make 2 more. I'll come back when I'm done with those. Okay, I'm back. I completed the other 2 strips. This is how I'm doing my color combo, but you can do it any way that you'd like. You can do baby blue, dark blue, white, whatever color combination your heart desires. Now is the fun part. We're going to construct our volleyball. So we're going to start with 1 strip at a time. Since this is the right side that we want to see, we're going to sew them together facing the back side. So I'm going to put the yarn through my needle first, and I actually fold it over the head, squeeze the yarn off, and then pinch and just put it through. Pretty easy. Easy with some practice. Okay, so since we know that we have 6 rows, I'm just going to weave this in 6 times back and forth. So put it through the first stitch and back through this one. And I'm just going to put the needle through every row. Once I've sewed together every row, I like to put it through 1 more stitch just for security. And then I weave this end in over here in a few of the stitches just to make sure that it's really secured and it's not coming out. I'll probably do this through a few more stitches and then I'll cut my yarn and I'll be back. I just finished this one up. I wove in the end and sewed this together. Now we're going to do the same with another strip. Work into this first stitch. Back through the one that we came from. Make sure you just pull that side tight. And then I'm working through the tops of the rows. Just back and forth. Now I'm going to hide in my end. Okay, I completed my second piece. woven my end and sewed the corners together. Now we're going to flip these guys inside out. Now we're going to grab the last one and we're going to put one of these guys through the other like an X. Okay. Now we're going to take the last piece and weave it through. Make sure that we're weaving through the right side that we want to see, not the back. And I'm just going to place it through this blue. I want to make sure I keep the darker blue one on still. Make sure we have a hole up here. Put the white through this side. And it should start looking like that. Now we're just gonna move it around a little so that way it looks pretty. All right. Now we're gonna sew this end together. The difference is now it's facing the right side, so the end's coming from over here rather than in front of us. If you need help with the needle again, I just fold it over, pinch it real tight, off, and just pinch it through. Now I'm going to work into the first stitch, the one that it came out of, and every stitch in the row remaining. I still wove it through another stitch, but since this is the front of the stitch, I want to weave this end in through the bottom, since that's technically our back over here on the inside. So I'm just gonna weave in this end on the inside of the white, just through some of these stitches. All right, now we want to hide this bump and if we see any of the other bumps exposed. So we're just gonna move the strips around, kind of pull it through this side, and then pull the white again on this side, like a seesaw, just kind of going back and forth. So we hid the white one. Now let's find the blue. Okay, it looks good. She's starting to look like a ball. Now we're going to make this chain that loops around the rearview mirror or on a bag, wherever you're going to put this. We're going to make a chain of 62 and I'm going to leave a long tail to weave in after. Now we're going to attach our chains to our ball. I'm starting on the side where the V's are facing down. So I'm going to work into the corner stitches and kind of connect all three in one spot. So I go from the bottom into that dark blue and then through a corner of the white. And then to hide this, I kind of go back from almost the same stitch and work into the baby blue. And when you pull tight, you can't really see the yarn. And then back into the blue. Same thing here. I kind of worked back into that baby blue stitch, so you can't really see the dark blue. And then we're just going to leave this gal hanging there. And then we're going to do the other side. Now we're going to do the same thing, but in the other direction. I'm going to work into the top now, go into the baby blue. Okay, so I put it through the baby blue. Now I went through into the white stitch. Now we're going back into the white stitch and coming out of the dark blue. All right. So it should look something like this. Now we can kind of move the strips around to hide maybe some of our corners, but I think we're pretty good. I'm just molding it so that way it's not too square. We're almost done. Now while the ties are still in the front, you can kind of move this around if you need to. I think mine is all right. Last part of this is we are going to throw our end through the other side, weave in the end back here and cut it. This is purely your decision, but I think it really secures my end. We're going to do one guy and then throw the other. There we go. I kind of try to space them out. Then we can pull, but we don't want to pull too hard where we get like a weird bump. Okay. All right. Change the lighting a little. Hopefully you can see this part clearly, but I'm going to take this end and weave it through some of the stitches going this way and then back. And same thing with this one, weaving it in here, maybe skipping like the last one and weaving it back, just to secure the ends and make sure that those suckers ain't coming out. Before I start, I'm just gonna tighten a little and maybe go through these. And then I'll skip and go back. Just a little tug. I don't want this to be too warped. I did the other side. Here is your car charm. She is all done, secure, and ready to get put on the car. Don't forget to like and subscribe and come back for more. I will have these and a bunch of other team colors available for purchase at the Nike Boston Volleyball Festival from March 6th to 8th. So come check me out.